Hello, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I'm like taking this all in, looking at familiar faces, some new faces. It's so nice to see you here. I appreciate you coming so much. We are going to start with a meditation, breathwork, tuning in, the whole thing. Anyone completely new to what I share and teach? Kundalini, yes, awesome. You have a great guide too here. Okay, so we're going to start by tuning in with some breath work, a little meditation. I want the focus to be creation, manifestation, what we are consciously creating each and every moment of our life. And I know there's like a lot of different ideas about manifestation. It's a buzzword. We see it on TikTok and Instagram and so on. And I felt like we can get really clear here on what it means for us as a group. I can share from my perspective what it means, some techniques, tips, meditations to do, maybe even mantras to chant. And also within that, weaving in alignment to your purpose and your authenticity. So I had all these ideas of what I wanted to really connect to tonight with you, and that's some of them. So we're going to start by taking a grounding moment, tuning in, and you all have a note paper and a pen on your mat. This is for a question. So if there's anything related to meditation practice, manifestation, aligning to your purpose that you have, we're gonna ask you to write it down, okay? I'm gonna create the space first, we're gonna tune into ourselves, then we're gonna write it down. Also, if nothing comes to you for a question, but you have something you are hoping to bring into your life that you would want this collective energy to support, you can write that down as well. It's going to be completely anonymous. You're not going to put your name, but we're going to have that. And we're going to take the questions and integrate it into our live podcast recording, which I'm so excited to do. Okay? All right, so let's close our eyes. And I want you to relax the shoulders, relax the face. Any tension in the jaw, just let it all go. And take a really deep breath in through the nose. And a big cleansing breath out through the mouth. And again, inhale. And exhale. And you could take as many rounds of those that you need today. They might be your first deep breaths of the day. Or maybe you started your day with a nice meditation, but you're just coming back to your breath now after a busy work day, or just the commute of getting here. And I want you to begin to think about things that you have manifested in your life, things that have come to be. And start to think about what your role was in bringing those into your life. Was it consciously thinking about that thing, feeling into the energy of it, wishing, desiring for it? Was it hard work? Or was it simply feeling joyful and allowing that thing you wanted to become a frequency match for you? Because the truth is, we are constantly manifesting. We are constantly creating. And now, in this age of energy that we're living in, it's more conscious. It's more of a conversation. It's more of this realization of the power that lives within us. That, wow, we've been doing this all along. And there are ways to strengthen that. And there are techniques to do to continue to consciously create. So right now, if you have a question, I would love for you to jot it down. Like I said, it could be about meditation, it could be about manifestation, aligning to your purpose, whatever comes to you. And you can go ahead and jot that down. This is something we simply would like to have a conversation around together. Whatever it is that comes to mind. And if a question isn't coming to you, like I said before, you can jot down if you feel comfortable, writing down what you wish to bring in. And just by writing it down, I am manifesting, I am bringing in. You're already starting that cycle of creation. And once you've jotted that down, you can just place the paper down, put the pen away, and come back into a seated position with your eyes closed, connecting back to your breath. And we're going to begin by tuning in with a mantra, which is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And we say this 3 times to activate this inner power and energy within us. It's really this act of bowing to the divine wisdom that lives within, our creation energy, all of the power that lives within us that sometimes we need to be reminded of. And this mantra always helps to bring us back to that power. So bring your palms together into prayer pose. You could rub the palms together if you'd like to activate the energy between the palms. Taking a few long, deep breaths here. Preparing the body. It's kind of like activating your superpower, it truly is. And then resting the hands at the heart center in prayer pose. And take a really big, deep breath in. Big exhale, release. Inhale. And exhale, release. And once more, inhale. And exhale. And we're going to inhale and tune in 3 times with Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Fill the body up with this breath, squeezing the energy in and up at the base of the spine, holding, looking to the third eye point. Maybe even feeling the energy expand out through the crown of your head. And then exhale, release. Good. And relax the hands down on your knees. You're going to bring the fingers in Gyan Mudra, first finger, thumb tip together, helping to activate our inner wisdom. And you're going to go straight into a 2-part breath. Inhale through the lips twice. And out through the nose once. Good. Continue that at your own pace. And maybe you add a humming vibration on the exhale. If that feels good for you, you feel into it. Do what feels best in your body, but definitely explore the difference of creating sound within you as you exhale. And as you breathe here, I want you to think about what you wrote down, the intention that you have, that you wish to bring into fruition. And as you do that, it's important to think about this period, this chapter of life that you're in. Is this a time of clearing and creating space? Or is this a time to actively use the fire of the season to build and create? And intuitively, you'll just know where you are. And sometimes being in the in-between, the clearing and creating space, it can be so frustrating because we know what we want, we know where we want to be, and we want it now, of course, right? We just want it and we want it now. But there is such beauty in the in-between. So if you're there, remind yourself that it's temporary, that things are shifting and moving in order to create space for all that you wish to bring in. And if you're in the go season and you ride that, right? You ride all the energy that comes with it, and you use that to amplify all that you wish to create. Take one more full round, 2 inhales, 1 long exhale, and then a big deep breath in through the lips, holding it at the top. Big exhale, release. Inhale again through the lips, hold. Exhale, let it go. And once more, inhale, hold. Look to the third eye, feel the energy up the crown, hold. And exhale, let it all go. And just allow yourself to find the balance of your natural inhale and exhale. And as you come back to your rhythm of your breath, can you reflect again on the things in the past that you've co-created with the universe? And can you feel such a deep sense of gratitude for all that is? Sometimes we quickly bring something into our life and it's like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? And it is so important to take a moment to truly sit with all that was, all that is right here in this moment. It actually creates this vortex of energy to continue to build from that, to continue to attract, to magnetize what you wish for towards you. So can you just sit here for this moment and allow gratitude to come in to every single cell, every single space in your body. And maybe it's one thing that you could really lock into and feel that energy, that frequency. Take a really big deep breath in and exhale, release. And now you're going to open your palms and bring your pinky fingers together in front of your heart center. Touching pinky to pinky, palms are open towards the sky. And the breath is going to be in through the nose and out through the lips. Through the nose and out through the lips, finding your own pace here. And this is an opening. This is a receiving posture and breath work. So allow yourself to sit in this space, feeling your heart, feeling your energy, feeling your current life open to whatever it is you wish to welcome in. As you continue to breathe there, maybe you can welcome in immediate gratitude. Feeling as if it's already yours. Feeling into the energy of it was always meant to work out. all of it. And can you just settle in the present moment and be in the space of maybe the in-between or the unknown? Because it's a season and it's a chapter, and it's going to go way quicker than you ever anticipated. So can you feel into the power of the present and the excitement of all the unknown? Breathing deeply into the belly, awakening that power that lives within you. Sometimes it's so easy to get caught up in our own mind or just looking elsewhere at what everybody else is doing. Can we come back within and acknowledge all that we've created and all that we have the power to continue to create into our future? And take a really big deep breath in as you bring your hands onto the heart center, feeling this energy of receiving, this deep, deep gratitude of receiving. And exhale, release, and let it go. And once more, inhale. And exhale, let it go. And begin to wiggle your fingers and maybe your toes, rolling out your neck, taking any gentle movements you may need to come back into this present moment. And if you wrote down a question that you would like to be answered in our live podcast recording, I want you to set it off of your mat into the space right on the side or the front of your mat. And if there's an intention that you wrote down that you would like the collective energy to hold and you want us to hold that, you can also set that aside off of your mat. But if it's something you want to keep close to you and you want to hold on to, you could allow that to stay right there in front of you on the mat. And then just closing your eyes again, rubbing the palms together, hovering the hands over the sacral, right below the belly button, this energy, this space of creation. You might feel the energy from your hands. I want you to also invite that feeling, that activation from within you at that space. And then rub the palms together again. Hovering the hands over the solar plexus, right underneath the heart, the space we take aligned action. In order to bring things in, we need to act on them in the most aligned way. Feel into the energy there. And then rub the palms together again. Hover the hands over the heart center. And then float them over the throat, over the third eye, and over the crown, visualizing this waterfall of abundance, of lightness, cleansing the past, creating space for the future within you and around you. And then bringing the hands back to the heart center. And may the longtime sun shine upon you. May all love surround you. And may the pure light within you guide your way on. Satnam. And you can take as much time as you need to slowly make your way back right here in this moment. And going to transition when you're ready. If you need a moment before you hop up, you can take it to ground in, but we're going to transition over to the chairs and begin our next part of the podcast, Q&A, and our chat about manifestation. Okay, so take your time. Gianna's coming around and she's going to grab any questions that you would like to chat about and want answered. And we'll see you over on the other side. Hello guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick meditation. It was short and sweet, but it definitely helped us get into that energy of manifestation and really focus in on that frequency. And this is actually going to be recorded, so you can come back to that at any point if you'd like to. It's going to be part of the next podcast episodes, which is so exciting. So I wanted to talk a little bit about manifestation because it is something, like I said before, something that we do always, whether we're conscious and aware of it or not. And I started to realize back before I found my practice, I was spending so much of my time thinking, worrying about what I did not want to create in my life. Most of my day was focused on what I did not want, what I feared. And that's what really guided me to start my meditation practice, because I started to see other people in my life who were actually creating, who actually felt good every day and were putting their energy into what they wanted to create. And I realized, I was like, wow, I have that power within me. And it's difficult to do that if our nervous system isn't in a space where it feels safe and aligned. And that's why the meditation practice helped so much, because once we can take ourselves into that space and really feel settled, feel safe to be where we are here and now, that's when we can create. We need to feel good in order to create. So the meditation, I feel like meditation goes hand in hand with manifestation because of the positive energy that it brings. When we tune into meditation, it actually creates new neural pathways in our brain so that we're capable of thinking more positively. So it truly does go hand in hand. So I want to talk to you guys about any questions that you had. Gianna, are they ready? Awesome. And we'll get right into it. I'm so excited to do this style Q&A. Never done this before. Okay, these are all of them. Perfect. Okay, so the first question is, tell us about your personal practice. How do you incorporate breathwork techniques or manifesting tools into your daily life? Okay, so if you follow me, you certainly know you're with me every morning on my Instagram stories where I'm practicing my meditation. But every single day, before I do anything, literally, sometimes before the bathroom, but the bathroom's the only exception of what comes first, I get to my mat and I tune into my meditation practice. And I think what a really big message that I share is why it needs to be in the morning. Some people are like, daily practice. Yes, that's wonderful. I'm not going to shame any meditation practice at all. I personally feel very passionate about a morning meditation practice because it is the most preventative thing we can do. So before we can I'm a highly sensitive person. Raise your hand if you're a highly sensitive person. Almost all of us, right? Before we come in contact with anyone else's energy, we're taking care of our own. We all have stressors. We all have traumas from the past. We all have things that we're carrying with us. And my morning meditation is what puts me in check so that I can show up as the best version of me in the really hard moments and in the wonderful moments. So my personal practice every morning involves breath work because that is the direct line to my nervous system. I need breath work. I tune in, I go into my breath work, and from there I am always thinking about what I want to bring in that day. And recently, I'm sure some of you guys have seen that I opened a space that I've been dreaming about for probably 3 years at this point, and I knew it had to come into fruition because when I would sit in my meditation practice and try to visualize what I wanted to bring in, that wouldn't move. Like I had to actually create that so that other things can come into my life too. It was like it was right there in the forefront. So every morning I'd be thinking about that. I'm like, okay, yes, you're here. We're going to create this. I would visualize it, feel into the energy of it. And that's, I think, the basis of my practice and my manifestation daily practice. But then there's other practices that we could go deeper into. So the meditation that we just did prior to this, where we brought the pinkies together and we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, that's a manifestation meditation that's truly opening you up to receive. And there's also mantras as well that can amplify the energy of our thoughts. And sorry, another meditation just came into my mind, but there's mantras. Ekonkar, Satguru Prasad, I work with a lot. It was part of our January challenge, if you were part of that. It helps to actually amplify whatever you're thinking of so that you can bring that forward. And there's a happy, healthy, holy breath work that's on the app that I can't get enough of. And it strengthens your projection. It strengthens the power of your thought so that you can more easily draw things to you. So there's so many different things we can incorporate, but that's a little bit about my daily practice. Okay, next question. How do you see the relationship between physical movement and breath work? How do they complement each other in your approach? So physical movement, I don't know about you guys, but I was the type of person, I received the message, you need to start meditating. And I was like, that's lovely. I'm not going to be able to sit and think about nothing at all. I'm having panic attacks. I have constant fear loops. Like, what are you expecting of me? I don't even know the first thing about meditation. And I think that's what I love so much about this practice is that it incorporates movement, because what we're doing with the movement and breath work is we're giving our mind something to do so that we can actually get into the subconscious and we can fool the active mind to really get in and do that deep subconscious work. So they go hand in hand perfectly, in my opinion. I love moving energy through those modalities. So there's a few different ways to move energy. Kundalini really encompasses all of them. Setting intention, what we can do with our mind, chanting mantra, sound, movement, breath work, and meditation. Those are all ways of moving energy. So incorporating movement and breath work just powers it up because you're using two ways to move energy rather than one or none at all. Okay, next question. In today's constantly connected world, how do your practices help people become more present and authentic? I love this one. Okay, so becoming present. When we're focusing on our breath, we're becoming present in that moment. And I think sometimes we have to be careful with manifestation because we're thinking about the future so much of what we want to bring in. That's not actually being present. That's using the quantum field, dipping into that space where we can, of course, impact our future. But I think it is very important to come back to the present moment as we did here, to sit in the gratitude of what is right here and right now, because that's actually going to help us create the future. So I think that's a really important piece to add into any manifestation practice so that we can be present. But overall, the breath, being able to regulate our nervous system helps us to be more present because we're in more control of our thoughts. Our thoughts aren't as scattered, they're not overwhelming, they're not running our life. We're able to take a breath and truly be here right now and focus on the present moment. Authenticity is a very important thing to me. And this practice, when we say Sat Nam, that's part of the practice. It sounds like so many people in the room are familiar with the practice based off the mantras that we just said. Sat Nam is one of them, and what that means is I am truth. Truth is within me. And what I've experienced is when we get to know ourselves on a deep level, when we carve out time, we're spending time with ourselves every morning in our morning practice. We're getting to know ourselves. We can't really hide anymore. I don't know if you guys have felt that feeling of called out by your higher self. Like you're sitting in meditation, you're like, Erika, please, like that is not what's up. You know what's up. And it's just that call out of your truth and your authenticity. And we're kind of forced to align to that because it becomes so apparent to us and so aware to us. Our awareness increases. So I do believe that when we go on this path of self-discovery, of increasing our personal awareness, of connecting to ourselves through our meditation, our authenticity within ourselves, but also with everyone else, is going to be there. It's going to rise, because when we want to tune in to being our most truthful self within, that's going to ripple out to every relationship that we have. And it's almost like this new standard for ourselves of who we want to show up as in every aspect of our life. So I really love that question. Thank you for that. Okay, the next one. How to build the courage to be consistent with higher frequency and know that the reward is on the other side. I think I read that correctly. If I didn't, if this is your question, you can just shout it out and let me know. But how to build the courage to be consistent with the higher frequency and know that a reward is on the other side. So I think when we talk about courage, it also comes down to confidence and this knowing of ourselves deep within. And whenever we are aligning to our truth and that light within us, there's always going to be a reward on the other side, because we're aligning with our heart, we're aligning with what we're destined for. So being able to have the courage to take action towards what we want is a really important piece of manifestation. A lot of people want to journal, they want to meditate, they want to write all the things, but are they willing to have the courage to actually take the steps that are needed, putting themselves out there, maybe even extinguishing the ego a bit and being able to do things that might make them uncomfortable, right? In order to really align to what they want. So I think it's about finding it within you, allowing yourself to be very vulnerable, very truthful within, and knowing that when you're doing what lights you up, what makes you feel most aligned, there's always going to be that reward on the other side, because you're staying true to yourself. What do you do in moments when you have negative thoughts or ruminating in negative energy? What if you get into a fight? How do you get out of the funk of the fight and the energy? Great question. So in moments where I'm having a negative thought, I'm constantly talking to myself, honestly. When I first started my journey, I actually was training my brain every single day, every single moment, because all of my thoughts were fearful. Like, I really believe 99.6% of my day were fearful or negative thoughts. So when they would come in, I had to rewire the new story. This is the energy that's coming in, and now this is my new story that I'm going to say, because they're both, right now, they might not be true, right? The negative thought isn't necessarily true. The positive might not be true at this moment, but at least I'm going to feel better. I'm going to get into a higher frequency and be able to create from there. So it's going to work out in a higher way. So when you have a practice such as this, such as what we've practiced and we practice today, you become more aware of your thoughts. When you can be more aware, you can spot the negativity before it actually starts to take form into an emotion. And that's 13 seconds. You have 13 seconds before it becomes like what you're carrying and what you're feeling. It becomes a thought, it very quickly becomes an emotion. The more we practice, the more we get real with ourselves and connect to ourselves, the easier it's going to be to spot them, to stop them, and to rewire that thought. So that's something I practice very often. A negative thought will come in. I'll ask myself, does that feel like my intuition, or does that feel like fear? Sometimes that's very hard to notice at first, but the more you tune into it, intuition feels less scary, more true, and like whatever it is, we'll be able to deal with that. Where fear starts to come over your body, you feel an increased heart rate, you feel maybe some panic or anxiety. So I like to ask myself, what does this feel like? Where is this coming from? I also am constantly saying cancel, clear. all the time. If I speak something negatively, I will say cancel clear. If I think something negatively, I will say cancel clear, because the truth is about sound, once we put that out there, it continues to vibrate infinitely. So that is what we're projecting out. I have grown to be so careful, and not in a fearful way, but in an empowered way, knowing the power we have, knowing the power of our voice, of our projection, of our sound current. I am choosing so wisely what I say. The other day I said the thing like we all say, oh my gosh, I was unwell. No, I wasn't unwell. I had a funny moment, or whatever it is. I use more descriptive language. I was not unwell. I'm actually quite well. And I reversed that, but I'm serious. And it's interesting to see how all of this kind of just drips into the collective and the norm, the negative words, language, and verbiage. And once you become super aware and sensitive to energy, which we all agree that we are, you start to realize. And it's that's actually not how I'm going to talk. It might be trendy. It might help me get some views on Instagram, but it doesn't align to me. So we're not going to do that. So with negative thoughts, I'm cancel, clear, deleting any moment I can get. I'm replacing them with a higher, more positive thought. I'm checking, does this feel like intuition? Is this something I need to sit with? Or is this fear that I can move along and just dismiss? The next question was, if you get into a fight, what do you do to get out of that funk? Get into my body, moving, shaking, clearing. I love going to the beach near the ocean, being in nature and doing it there. People have seen me, and that's fine. Because maybe I could encourage someone. Either I give them a good laugh and then we're joyful, we're laughing, that's great, or might inspire someone to get into their body and shake it out. But seriously, shaking it out, clearing it out, sending love. I love energetic communication and telepathic communication, because sometimes fights or disagreements you might be ready to move with, sit with, and move from, where the other person might not be. There's two, it takes two to tango. So what I will do in those moments where maybe I just feel weird energy, or I don't think I'm ready to have the conversation, I will sit and send that person love. I'll clear my energy field from them, send them their energy back, call all of my energy back to me, both ways with love and light, and try to work in the energetic field. And it really does work. It truly does. So that's how I recover from a fight. Next question. How can you notice the difference between what you want to do and what is meant for you? Okay, I love this, and I think there's a lot of parts to this. So what you want to do, I would want you to ask yourself, what is guiding that? Is it this inner energy? Is it this connection that lights you up and supplies you with so much fuel that you can just go towards it in a very excited way? Or is it something you want to do for ego purposes or society or what you think other people will value? I would like you to ask yourself that question and get really clear on that, because I do believe what is meant for us will feel aligned. It should give us energy. And that doesn't mean in every phase of it, because it could be challenging at first. Sometimes we're pushed into situations where we're like, why is this happening? This feels so scary. This feels so challenging. I don't want to be here. And then on the other side, we're like, okay, now it all makes sense. So I don't think in every chapter it's going to feel like rainbows and butterflies, but I do think there's going to be this inner knowing when something's meant for you. I think it's going to feel right. And for myself, I know when something's meant for me because it flows. If I'm forcing, if I'm trying, if it feels like there are blocks or pushback, it's like, okay, I need to step back and see how I could get more into a flow state, because it should flow. I hope that helped. And I would just try to decipher between what you want to do. Is it truly what you want to do, or is that coming from elsewhere? I love these questions. Oh my goodness. Okay. Next one. How to clear stressful energy throughout the day to clear your energy and protect your aura. Wonderful. Clearing stressful energy from the day. I love shaking. I love doing the meditation to melt your stress, the big deep inhale and the 8 powerful exhales when your fingertips are together in front of your heart center, like prayer pose, but just your fingertips together. That's my go-to way to clear stressful energy. And after that, we always do a little shake, so that's 2 in 1. That will help clear your energy, protecting your energy and protecting your aura. I believe should happen in the morning before you go out into the world, but you can do it anywhere. So in the morning, when you set intention, when you go into your morning meditation practice, you are creating a stronger field. Your aura is expanding by connecting to yourself, connecting to your breath. So you're already doing it there. You can then visualize a shield around you. You could visualize your energy extending beyond you. And you can also, for clearing your aura, you can also visualize yourself sending back energy, anything that's holding to you, to your energy field. Very often, if I'm in public or if I'm in a situation one-on-one with someone and I'm feeling their energy, again, as highly sensitive, so we know this, this is like my little trick. I didn't learn this anywhere and I'm going to share it with you guys. I take a forced exhale. Like I just like exhale out. Like if I feel like I'm about to take on energy and that it's coming into my aura, I do a forced exhale. Like, no, I'm not taking that on. I'm creating a boundary energetically. And then I'm intentionally breathing in to my field. And it really helps me. So you can try that too, because sometimes when we're around other people, we can't help but to feel and empathize with what they're feeling. And the next thing we know, we could be taking on their energy. So just like taking a forced exhale and then taking your conscious breath, bringing the power back to your breath and your field. The next question is how to avoid family negative energy from affecting you. Again, going back to that telepathic and energetic work. Does it sound too woo-woo, Jen? Are you giggling? Oh, okay, I love you. I'm like going back to telepathy. Here we go. So how to avoid any negativity from affecting you? I think going back to that space, because again, we don't have control over anyone else and how they feel about us. It's not our responsibility. It's not our business. That's really about them. Of course, there's going to be moments where we need to self-reflect and we need to be aware and see if there's reflection that we need to do. But for the most part, if we feel that there's negative energy that's impacting us from elsewhere, I would sit with it. I would send that person love. I would visualize them surrounded in love and light, allowing them to feel safe and being true to themselves, because so often people are projecting their own fear, their own challenges, their own BS, or even their own traumas. Maybe they're treating you this way because that's how they were treated. Maybe it's a power struggle because they want to have that energy because they never had it before in any other situation. And sitting with that and visualizing the person and sending them love, as hard as it may be sometimes, because you might not be feeling like you're getting that back, is really helpful. And also having boundaries, knowing when you can talk to them, knowing when you're available to their energy. I know when I'm available to the dynamics of family. There's so many dynamics. And I know I need to be in my best space to be around everyone else's stuff, because guess what? They're not doing the work. I'm doing the work. And I'm doing the work because I want my family to be positively impacted, which they can be, by the way. The people closest to us and people you might not even expect can be impacted by the work we do, and you will start to see it. You really will. But again, that's not your responsibility, but that is something that can come if you're very close to them, depending on the connection to them. But I know that I need to be in the best place to be around some people in my family. That's just truth. I know that. Otherwise, I'm not proud of the person when I leave there. I'm not proud of the person I was. I know I could have done better because I wasn't really in that space. And that's actually what's helped me to create boundaries. Boundaries are hard, especially when we're so open-hearted. We want to be there for so many people. And in those moments of reflection, I've been like, this is why I have a boundary, because right now I'm not feeling like I was my best. So I feel like knowing when you're available to them and their energy is important. Sending them love when you can energetically, and having your boundaries. Oh my goodness. I love you. I know whose question this is. I don't even know how to answer it.
I don't either because I don't really know what you wrote.
I love you.
I have my eyes closed.
One thing, who is your divinity? I feel like we all have this divine energy that truly moves through us, and we all have access to it. And it's about finding the modalities to help turn that switch. This practice has been mine, and that's why I get so excited to share it with anyone who's open to it, because it does feel like I'm able to go into this space and turn on this energy and come into my highest alignment. And we can find that in so many different ways. It could be spending time with family. It could be spending time with our children. It could be spending time in nature. It could be through a sound healing, whatever it may be. It could be running. It could be doing whatever lights you up. But I think that energy is within all of us, and we all have access to it, and it's just about like finding that key. Thank you. It's no funny, I knew it was you. Okay, so how do you shift from what you thought was your dream to a new one? I love that. Things change. We change. We're constantly changing, and especially when we're doing energetic work, our frequency is continuously changing. So things are going to change for you, and see it as a blessing. Wow, I did have this dream. Maybe I was on this path and maybe I achieved it, but now it's no longer what I want. That is beautiful. We're here to live, to shift, to evolve, and to experience all that we're meant to experience. Other times, maybe we were working towards something and in the process we didn't actually achieve it, but we've realized that it's no longer for us. It's not something we want to put our energy in. It's not failure. Literally failure, I know this is so cheesy, but I really truly believe this. Failure does not exist, and once you truly embody that, you're going to take action on so much more, and you will become so much more aligned because you don't have the fear holding you back. So shifting is always great because it's redirection to your most aligned path. And anytime you feel a redirection, anytime you feel like you need to shift, feel the gratitude of it and feel into that energy of the unknown of what's to come. Beautiful. Okay, so these are manifests. Amazing. I love this. I'm looking at what you guys are manifesting, and I'm like, building the field with you. So amazing. Okay, so I'm going to read some of these things. I'm manifesting the love of my life, my partner, my husband. Can we just like cheer and feel that energy for that person? I love it. I'm manifesting financial freedom. Let's feel it. Unconditional love, unlimited strength, deepest connections, collective energy. I'm bringing in a soul-centered business. I'm bringing in abundance and freedom to be me and being with the collective. Right? Oh, I love it. Thank you guys for sharing them. And that's it. That's all of them. I hope this was helpful. I'm so grateful that you guys wanted to be here and join. And like I said, this will be available on the podcast, so you can come back to it, listen to it, do the meditation before. Of course, I also have the app where there's a 7-day free trial if you're ever interested in going deeper in the practice. But if you have any questions, if you want any meditation recommendations, always reach out to me because I truly love this. I love sharing it, and I'm so grateful that you wanted to be here. So thank you so much. Thank you. Also, a shout out to Free People Movement for having us. They do a lot of activations, so if it was your first time here, you should ask about the schedule if you're local. They have workout classes, and it's just so nice to be part of community, right? So you can look into that too, but thank you guys so much. Thank you.